Hello everyone and welcome to the Saildust 2 YouTube channel again. I just wanted to come on and talk about my first impressions, probably more so like half impressions from Shadow Generations, from the Sonic X Shadow Generations collection. Mostly talking about Shadow Gens because that's like the e-ticket, that's why we're buying it. Sonic Generations is pretty untouched aside from the really weird and pointless rewrite for all the cutscenes that are like weirdly bad and weirdly worse than the original game. But I'm gonna be talking about Shadow Generation because this isn't a full review. I just want to come out and talk and speak my thoughts because I have a lot of thoughts. I haven't beaten the game yet, but I feel I'm pretty close. I just did Sunset Heights, so I don't imagine there's that much game left. I haven't done the second boss or anything. But I have like 2.5 hours in the game, which is, I assume, is a decent amount for something like this. This very much seems like the Bowser's Fury in so many ways, but I actually think I might like it more than Bowser's Fury because, I mean, I really like Bowser's Fury, but I actually think I might like this more. Yeah, no, I am stunned. I am floored at how good this game is so far. I have so, when I first saw the trailer, and I think a lot of people had this trailer, had these thoughts too when they first saw it, that it looked like it was going to be just like Frontiers cyberspace levels, but as Shadow, but with like the same level design as Frontiers. I didn't think it was going to be as bad as Forces. Forces was like unbelievably bad, and Cyberspace has some bad levels, but for the most part, they're just kind of whatever. They just feel really bad to play. But the level design itself is fine, mostly because most of them are borrowed. But that's what I expected from Shadow Gens, is just like not control-wise. I didn't think it was going to feel great. The few bits that they showed in the initial reveal trailer weren't the best. They weren't the most flattering. I don't know why they showed like the most hallway-centric parts of these levels. But it just set my expectations so low, and then it started coming out. More trailers came out, more gameplay, people were playing it, and it was like, okay, maybe this game won't be as bad. Like, the levels look pretty good. And then playing that first level, the Space Colony Arc, was unbelievable. I was like, holy, this feels so good. It feels so good to play as Shadow. This is probably the best feeling 3D Sonic game since like Adventure 1 and 2, and I genuinely mean that. This is the best feeling boost game, better than Forces, which I don't know what the general consensus on that is. I feel like this is better than Forces. The level design is, I need to replay a lot of them. I've only played the first, like I said, the first four levels, both acts, and I need to play them more, but I feel like this could be some of the best 3D level design in Sonic history, at least very close to Unleashed, because I think Unleashed level designs is far, boost-wise, are just incredible, and I think this is close. I think I'm kind of hopping between Sonic's campaign, Sonic Generations, just so I can, not run through Shadow immediately and be sad that it's over. And comparing a lot of the levels in Shadow, I am already liking a bit more than the Sonic Generations level. And I like the Sonic Generations levels a lot. I think they're really, really good. But I think it just has to do with the control of Shadow. Shadow just controls so well. Like, this is the first time like his acceleration feels good. The boost feels good. Maybe a little bit gimped. Jumping feels a little weird when you're boosting. It kind of has that Frontiers issue where it's not as bad as launch Frontiers where you would jump and it would cut off all your momentum, but I don't know, it feels a little weird. Acceleration feels good, stopping feels good, and there's no drifting. I don't think. Not that I don't. Yeah, I don't think there's any. There might, but no. I don't think there's any drifting. But regardless, these levels just feel so good to go through, and there's so many routes. I feel like I can go through all these levels 10 times and find a different route or find different shortcuts. It's crazy. And another thing that I was worried about is the Doom powers. I mean, they looked cool, you know, like they look kind of visually, you know, weird and freaky and kind of just different, you know, and I was afraid that they would kind of halt the gameplay a little bit, how it wouldn't really feel that smooth, like, in between using these powers. But no, they feel so intertwined with Shadow's control and movement that there's no stopping. Like, this is the most fluid, one of the most fluid Sonic games ever, and if you stop or if you hit a wall or something, it feels like it's entirely your fault. And it's so fluid. It's so fluid, and I can't, like, it's just everything through using the Doom powers to Chaos Control, which I like Chaos Control too. I think it's a cool mechanic. A lot of it just feels like you kind of just don't know when to use it. Like, you don't know when the ideal time to use it is, so sometimes you just kind of use it randomly, and it's just like, okay, I didn't really need to do that. And sometimes when you hit it accidentally, you can't deactivate it immediately after activating it. Like, you have to run through the entire thing. But when you use it at a ideal part of the game, it feels really good. Like, a part that's not scripted. Like, it's not like, oh, here's Chaos Control gauge. You have to use it for this part to advance. And it just, whenever you use it, ideally in spots that aren't scripted, it feels great. It feels so cool. And I do wish there were red rings. It's kind of a weird decision that they only have 3 collectibles per stage. I'm pretty sure. I don't know, maybe they open like something post game, but I doubt that. But yeah, there's only 3 collectibles in each stage, and yeah, that's kind of weird because of how open and how many different shortcuts and routes there are in these levels, that I feel like red rings would be perfect. But it's not that big of a deal. Some of the collectibles are a little bit hard to find sometimes, and I don't know. I'm not one to love the red rings in other Sonic games, so it's not that big of a deal. The White Space. It's called White Space, right? White Space? Yeah, White Space. The hub world. Wow, I was not expecting it to be that expansive. When you start the game, it kind of puts you on a path from the Arc level to Rail Canyon, and I kind of thought, oh, maybe it's like a kind of more linear thing. It's kind of like the Sonic one, just 3D. But no, once you beat Rail Canyon, it just like opens up fully, and it's like, holy crap! I don't know if it opens up any past the second boss. I don't know. I don't think it does, because it's already really, really big, and it's like, wow, exploring it's really fun, and it makes me wish Frontiers felt like that. And that's another thing. It feels like Sonic Team was more confident in this game because they didn't have a lot of the settings for movement wise like they did in Frontiers. They just had this set control speed, control movement. You can adjust the deacceleration on Shadow, but that's it. They made this control scheme and they stuck with it, and and it feels good, and it feels like they are confident finally in this control scheme, and it feels so good to run around White Space. It's so much fun. I wish there was a bit more stuff to do in it, because a lot, at least at this point, it's really just collecting the collectible items for like the music, the art, and the whatever other stuff. But there are like Frontier-esque like ring like challenges, like collect this amount of rings in this few seconds, or get to this part in, you know, just like little like platforming challenges, essentially like what Frontiers had, and those are really fun too. It's just, it feels so good, and I like Frontiers, but oh my god, this is already such a huge improvement. Everything feels so good, and also it's so polished. The game feels... This might be one of the most polished 3D Sonic games ever. It just... I'm not running into any glitches, any visual glitches. I maybe saw Poppin once in the overworld, and that was it. It feels so good to play, and it feels like they put so much time into the polish. It's like, going back to Frontiers is going to be crazy, because that game is not the most polished 3D Sonic game ever. Or out, like, it's not the most polished game. It is a polished game of all time. But this might be the polished game of all time. It feels so good. I'm playing on a PlayStation 5. By the way, I don't know if... I'm sure Switch is like a little bit... I don't know how the quality is on Switch. I assume it's locked at 30, and I don't know, maybe it runs fine at 30, but no, I'm playing on PS5 with performance mode, and it feels so smooth. I'm not seeing any frame drops. And I'm just, I'm trying to think of negatives, because like I still like I want to like say, you know, something that I'm not a big fan of, aside from the Sonic Generations rewrite, but that's not even that big of a deal because I don't like the Sonic Generations story. I didn't like the original anyway. So I'm trying to think of negatives, and I can't think of any right now, because I'm genuinely shocked at how amazing this game is. The 2D segments are really good. They're just as fun as the 3D segments. That's not a negative. That's also a positive. I can't. I'm sure it'll come to me when I do my review, because I'm gonna do a full review on this game on my main channel. I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but I will stick out for that. And I'm just happy. I'm just happy. I feel like. I mean, I was happy when the Frontiers came out too, because I think that was a solid step. But this is a fantastic step. I hope Frontiers 2, or whatever they do after, I assume they're gonna do Frontiers 2, because Frontiers 2 was a big success. I hope it follows this format more so than the original Frontiers did, with the more creative, more condensed hub world, or maybe if it's a mainline, make it bigger. The visuals of the white space is a lot better than the just regular Unreal Engine ass area of Frontiers. I don't know. I think it was fine, but mostly just more levels. I'm not sure how many levels there are. I know there's at least one more with the because we saw the Chaos Island in one of the trailers. So I know there's at least one more after this second boss. So yeah, I'm not sure. The challenges are fun. There aren't as many challenges as there are in Sonic, but they're really fun. And I actually did all of them so far. I've done all of them, because they're just these levels just feel so good to like run through. And I just, oh my god, I'm so like happy. I'm so happy. I'm gonna stop it right here. And I'm gonna go hopefully finish before my vacation, because I'm going to California for the weekend, and I'm gonna finish it, start writing the review, and get it out hopefully next week, because I just really want to talk about it. I wanted to indulge in how fun this game is right now, and I hope it sticks with it to the very end. I've no doubt that it wouldn't. So thank you for listening to my indulgence, and yeah, go play Shadow Generations. It's fucking great. It's amazing. Oh my god. Okay. Watch out for my review. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.